I come from a wealthy family. Technically, my life is worth more than all of yours put together, especially these women and midgets. So if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna pop down in that lifeboat.
Hold on, wait a second. I am so sick of the 1% getting this preferential treatment. Enough is enough.
Bernie Sanders on Saturday Night Live last night. We're joined now by his opponent, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. She joins us now from Manchester as well. Madam Secretary, thank you for joining us this morning. So you've had your own turn on Saturday Night Live. How do you do?
Well, I didn't get to see it, but it's always a fun experience. I'm sure he did great. You know, it's a wonderful forum. It's a crash course in trying to figure out how to do live TV, and I had a great time doing it.
We also had, of course, the Republican debate last night here at St. Anselm's, and Marco Rubio called you out on the issue of abortion. Take a look.
Why doesn't the media ask Hillary Clinton why she believes that all abortion should be legal, even on the due date of that unborn child? Why don't they ask Hillary Clinton why she believes that partial birth abortion, which is a gruesome procedure that has been outlawed in this country, she thinks that's a fundamental right? They are the extremists when it comes to the issue of abortion, and I can't wait to expose them in a general election.
Going to get exposed in a general election?
You know, George, it's really quite sad to see what Senator Rubio is becoming in this campaign. Everybody understands that he is diving as far right as he possibly can. You know, I've been on record for many years about where I stand on abortion, how it should be safe and legal, and I have the same position that I've had for a very long time. But what's really going on here is an effort by the Republicans to keep pushing as far as they can to overturn Roe v. Wade, to defund Planned Parenthood, to make accusations and attacks that are really extreme.
But are there any restrictions you would accept on late-term abortions?
Well, you know, I've been on the record on this for a long time. You know, I think that the life and health of the mother, obviously rape and incest, have to be always taken into account. And, you know, when he raises the, very, very difficult issue of late-term abortion, he conveniently overlooks the fact that there are medical reasons, there are health-related reasons. I've met women who have had to face this excruciating choice. This is not something that anyone that I've ever met with enters into without the deepest thought, the most careful consideration. And I remember at an event back in the 90s where, we sat and talked with some of the women who had to make a very hard decision. It's just so unfortunate that politicians like Senator Rubio are trying to politicize these kinds of very difficult concerns, and I don't think he should be allowed to get away with that.
You had your own debate with Bernie Sanders this week as well, and you challenged him to come up with evidence that contributions from Wall Street ever influenced your positions. He and his team have circulated the charge from Elizabeth Warren, who said you changed your position on the bankruptcy bill back in 2001 because of contributions. Here's what Senator Warren had to say.
One of the first bills that came up after she was Senator Clinton was the bankruptcy bill.
And?
She voted in favor of it. She has taken money from the groups, and more to the point, she worries about them as a constituency.
How do you respond to that charge?
Well, I'm glad you asked me about it, because this is one of these, innuendo, insinuation charges that the Sanders campaign is engaging in.
Well, that was Senator Warren, though.
But I know. But if you had played the entire quote, what you would have heard her say, she and I worked together in 2000 to stop a bankruptcy bill that we both believed was very harmful. When I got to the Senate in 2001, one of the first big votes there was on a version of the bankruptcy bill, and I was deluged by women's groups and children's advocates groups to do everything I could to make sure that child support and women's precarious financial situation in case of divorce or not being able to get the kind of funding they needed from a partner or a spouse in bankruptcy would not be endangered, and it was. That bill was making it a very low priority. So I did go to work on behalf of all of these women's groups and children's groups because they needed a champion, and I got that bill changed, and in return, it had nothing to do with any money whatsoever, and I resent deeply any effort by the Sanders campaign to so imply. But it had to do with trying to get a deal that would protect women. But now let me finish, George, because this has been bandied about, and I just want to set the record straight. And so then 3 years later, part of what Senator Warren said you played. You didn't play the whole thing because we'd been allies. I faced a tough decision, and I stood up for women and children. I went to the Senate floor, said that was exactly what I was doing. Then the bill did not pass. It never became law. And then when the next bill came up, 2005, women's issues were taken care of because I had made that a point back in 2001. And so then I was against that bill. I didn't get a chance to actually vote against it because Bill was in the hospital having a heart procedure, but I put a statement out. I was against it. So I'm happy to set this record straight. And I really want to once again call out the Sanders campaign, which claims they like to run a positive campaign, but they have been quite artful in raising questions and trying to cast doubts about my record. And I really am not going to sit and take it anymore.
But Senator Warren,
I have a public record. I have never, ever been influenced in a view or a vote by anyone who has given me any kind of funding.
Not only
so
in that clip,
I'm just going to keep setting the record straight.
But in her book, Senator Warren said the bill was essentially the same, but Hillary Rodham Clinton was not. Big banks were now part of Senator Clinton's constituency. She wanted their support. They wanted hers, including a vote in favor of that awful bill.
I have the greatest respect for Senator Warren. As I said, we did work together. I faced a choice. I could have said to the women who have been my advocates for 30 years, I'm sorry, I'm now in the Senate, but I can't help you. Nobody else was helping them. They were desperate to get help. They were afraid that child support was going to be below credit card debt, that they were going to be really left out and left behind and badly damaged. I could have said, I can't do that because somebody in 10 years might say that, something else was going on. That's not the way I work. So they came to me. I said, this is outrageous. I went to the floor. I lobbied to get a change. And as part of getting that change from both Democrats and Republicans who were leading that legislation, they said, if we change this bill at the last minute to take account of these issues you're raising about women and children, which they had not clearly made a priority before I showed up, then, you have to say you'll vote for it. It was, look, that's what you have to do. I swallowed hard. I said, OK. But it was also the case it didn't get passed. So I got what I needed into the bill. It stayed in the bill, even in the bad version that I posed in 2005. So thanks for the opportunity to set the record straight.
In the debate the other night, you said you'd look into whether or not to release the transcripts of your speeches to financial groups. Have you made up your mind?
Yeah, here's another thing I want to say. Let everybody who's ever given a speech to any private group, under any circumstances, release them. We'll all release them at the same time. I don't mind being the subject in the Republican debates, the subject in the Democratic primary. That kind of goes with the territory. I've been around long enough. But at some point, these rules need to apply to everybody. And there are a bunch of folks, including, my opponent who's given, speeches to groups and people on the other side who've given speeches to groups. If this is now going to be a new standard, so then it should apply to everybody, and then I'll be happy to look into it further.
Madam Secretary, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Great to talk to you, George. Thanks.